bunch of homos are trying to start a fight with me because they're homosexual and they're sexually attracted to this guy who's harassing me. And now they're like really upset and they're like telling me to shut up because I'm just like, what the fuck are these losers saying? And I'm like, why are you talking shit if you can't even get, like, can't handle when people talk shit back to you? Like, it doesn't really make sense. Right? It's like what I'm saying. I'm like, why are you like, just don't say anything if you don't want people to say things back to you. It's so stupid, and I think one of them's gonna cry in the bathroom later, and I'm like, are you a woman or something? What the fuck is the matter with you? The schizophrenic cop who's been harassing me, who believes that we're dating because he forced me to look at his face and introduce himself to me when he was at work and he didn't want to work or something. Yeah, that guy, I have no idea who he is. I know he has schizophrenia and he can't read, and which is why women don't like him. And I guess he didn't understand people are being sarcastic when they're like, yeah, you can definitely date her. And then he realized that they were just making fun of him later on, and then he's like, got upset because he's like, what, you think you're better than me? Do you know these guys? La la la. Did I just break my glasses? I sat on them, and now it's like, I know I did. But yeah, oh, I also realized something. I finally figured something out. That weird guy, that Elias Eric Grimaldi guy, he didn't understand that people didn't care about him. So he did all that work to try to tell me that he didn't like me. And I'm like, I don't care. I legitimately don't give a shit that you don't like me, and I don't know why you want to be my friend after saying that you don't like me and telling me to die. It's just weird. He has schizophrenia, doesn't he? Oh. Yeah, he has schizophrenia. He doesn't think that's what he's doing and what he's saying, and he's seeing something else, and he believes something else is happening. As in, oh, that's what that means. Schizophrenia means that person's really dumb and gullible. It's a gullible dumbass. That's schizophrenia. Oh my god. But yeah, obviously there's something wrong with that person if they're that dumb. Apparently they're very difficult to treat. In the history of the world, it's been almost impossible to treat a chronic dumbass. You know? That's so funny. If I was a doctor, I'd be like, I'm sorry, you don't have a mental illness, you're a dumbass, but I can't diagnose you with anything because you're just stupid. Yeah, that's what I would be like. Probably like people would be very angry at me. I'd be like, I'm sorry, but nobody told you that was a good idea. Like, you just thought about that on your own and thought it was a good idea, even though you know there's a reason why nobody does it. Like, there's a reason why nobody goes and breaks into people's houses in order to get a date from that person who owns a house. And you think you're gonna end up marrying that person so you can use their stuff. Like, that never happens. But you think it's gonna happen, which is why you're a dumbass, because you think something else is going on and you think the person's gonna feel differently because you're the one who's doing it, not anyone else. Like, you're retarded. I'm sorry to say this, but that's not medically diagnosable, right? A lot of doctors here are retarded. I mean, they're actually not doctors, but they're nurses, but they have a medical degree. It's like, you went through all of that just to become a nurse, which is so weird. What else? Yeah, Eric genuinely didn't understand. People didn't care about him. And I didn't give a shit about the fact that he didn't like me because I don't know that guy. I had nothing to do with that guy. I'm never gonna see that guy again in my life. I'm not gonna be friends with that guy. So I don't care what he has to say about me, despite the fact that it is harassment and it is bothering me. It's annoying. It's like getting bug bites all over my body. It's just fucking itchy and it's just scratches. Just gonna want to scratch it all the time because it's fucking annoying. Like, that guy doesn't know what the fuck is going on and without anything, and he's like, yeah, I don't like you. So do you like me? What do you think about me? And I'm like, he's the most insecure sack of shit I've ever met, and I didn't know he has schizophrenia, which is even more hilarious. And I didn't know that people didn't know that people don't give a shit about them. And I'm like, I don't care about you. And giving a shit about somebody doesn't mean that you're giving that person shit. Like, you're not talking shit to that person. If you do that, it means you don't care about that person. Like, can you just like use your brain, use your noodle? Like, are you stupid or something? Like, you don't know how to make friends? Like, have you never had a friend in your entire life or something? It's just, I find that super weird. Like, I've met some people, they usually work as cops. They've never had a friend their entire life. It's like, you're how old now? Like, you're 28, you're 32 or whatever, and you haven't had a friend, even in grade school. Like, nobody wanted to hang out with you or like go to sleepovers with you, go to movies or go out to eat in a group, or like they didn't invite you to their birthday parties all the time, and like you had no one else to play with at recess. Like, you didn't have a set group of friends that you hung out with all the time at recess or anything like that. I mean, I find that hard to believe. Like, it's like there's so many kids in the public schools. Like, there's enough to like be in a group with. It's just weird that nobody wanted to hang out with that person. Nobody. Like, literally, they couldn't find somebody to be with that person. That's so weird to me. I'm just like, that makes no sense. Like, why would nobody want to hang out with you? Like, literally, why would not a single soul that you have met so far, why would they all avoid you? That's so weird. They're like avoiding like the plague. Like, is there something wrong with you? Maybe that's a sign you need to do something with your life. Like, I don't know. Also, I'm really exhausted. Like, I'm tired. But I'm trying to stay out of the sun because it's gonna be really hot today. And I'm like, that's me. But other than that, I don't know what else to say about other things such as like and such and etc's and whatever's. They the police force are retarded, and I told the Mark Saunders guy to fuck off and give me back my dog because he thinks that all my stuff is his stuff. Some guy actually told me he thinks that because he's the chief of police and it's because it's city property or something, and I'm like, city property means that anybody who's a citizen can use the property. That's what that means. It's not city property. You're a city civil servant or a city worker, and that property is somebody else's property, but it's under the possession of the city because there's another crime involving other citizens. That's not public property. Libraries, public transportations, that's public property. Nobody really owns it, but they're only allowed to use it under regulations and under certain training guidelines and other people who are like eligible to work there. That's it. Other than that, like, I don't understand how he doesn't understand this, but I didn't know he was actually a dumbass. He's stupid. He's a stupid man, and he's a loser, and I have no idea how he got hired as chief of police. Douglas Ford has something to do with it. I know this. I know nobody believes me. Okay, except for some construction workers, but nobody takes those guys seriously. And I was like, oh my god. But I know he has something to do with the fact that he became chief of police, and I was like, why would you do that? Like, do you not, like, wow, obviously he's gonna do something like that. Like, look at that guy. I've never even met this guy, and I already know what he's like, because how he's running the department. Like, and you don't think that's gonna be a problem later on? I feel like he's trying to get back at he took it really personally or something. He's trying to get back at somebody for making Mark Saunders. Like, I don't know if he knows his parents personally, or if he hates his parents or something, which in that case, that's just kind of weird. Why would you do that? Just don't hire that guy. And you want everyone to hate him and hate you at the same time? This just makes no sense. Somebody's very upset. It's obviously a very lonely, very underweight white guy who's been trying to neg me. Negging is a term, means they're trying to make sexual harassment sexy. So how to make sexual harassment sexually attractive? Become a schizophrenic. That's the answer. You're not supposed to believe it. It's gonna make you very sick, like schizophrenic. Also, I found out some actors were selling crack because their acting gigs don't make that much money, and they don't get that much money from like because it's, if they work on a franchise, like let's say they have like a bagel franchise, like it's called the Bagels, and they make their series of movies called Bagels. Like they get paid to do the work for that movie, and that's it. And anything associated with the character that they were portraying, and a very small percentage of the sales if they were in direct control of that sale. So if some of them get paid commission on it. Some of them I think like if it's a set that includes that character, they get paid for it, but otherwise majority of the profits goes to the production company who is responsible for manufacturing and selling the products. So like I got the Bagels like set toys in return for using their likeness, right? They can negotiate their contract to say like I would like to 1% of the profit from total profits every single quarterly, or you can say I am willing to sell you my rights for that character, for this voice to be used in that doll for $500,000. That kind of stuff. So they can negotiate that kind of stuff, but other than that, like the majority of stuff goes to production company. And I didn't know this. It's to recoup the cost of to make the movie. So that's kind of like, let's say it was like a DreamWorks production or something, and they're like, yeah, we got in debt to make this movie, unassociated with the movie itself, but it was related to the fact that we were making that movie. Now we need to recoup those costs, so we're gonna sell these like little marketable products. Have a partnership with 7-Eleven. We got the bagel promotion going on. Can eat your favorite character or whatever. So they get a whole marketing team working on it. They got like Bagels t-shirts, they got Bagel sweaters, like a limited edition bagel dolls. Okay, yeah. Bagel something else. This is hilarious. I can just imagine it. It's just like a little bagel, and it's like little googly eyes on it, and little like noodle arms, and like you squish it, it goes, I'm a bagel. Yeah, anyway, I need to go to sleep soon. Pass out. It's so funny. I think it's hilarious. I'm like, oh my god. But it's called the Bagels, and that's how they're gonna recoup the cost in the association with making that movie, because they didn't know one of the actors just went through a breakup and was throwing a tantrum and trying to get other women to appease his emotional state by harassing them at various clubs and bars around the city that they're filming in. So now there's a sexual harassment suit that they need to pay for, and guess how they're gonna get paid for it? Please purchase your products and support our production traveling circus troupe. It's called the Bagels. I'm a bagel. It's so funny. Oh, that's entertaining. Although I don't know if I'd find it entertaining if that happened to me. If I was one of those women that the actors were harassing because they weren't doing so well or whatever, and they're like, why doesn't everyone love me? I think that's why they hired him to play that character. I'm so funny. It's a story about a bagel. He didn't want to become a bagel. He didn't want to become food. So he spends the rest of his entire life doing everything he can to oppose it. But I ended up probably on food. Also, I don't know what cracker meant. Still don't know what the N word means. I've only seen war veterans use it, but I don't know what they're referring to. I don't know if it's a war thing, like a soldier thing, but it was only white war veterans from America who were saying those things. I've never heard Korean war vets say it. I've never heard actual natives say it. I've never heard I've heard other black people say it, but I call them Uncle Ruckuses because they're calling me that, and I was like, I don't know what that means, and I don't know why you're saying it to me. But I think you're an Uncle Ruckus because you sound like some weird white guy. And yeah, I found out what cracker means. It means bird food. Yeah, they're like, you're so stupid you get beat by birds. Like, birds are smarter than you dumbass. I was like, they lied to them. They're like, no, it means like we're calling you a cracker because like you're property owners and you crack your whip and it hurts. So that's why we call you cracker for cracking that whip, you cracker. Ha ha ha. And I'm like, that's not what that means. They're bird food. You put them in a field so the birds get distracted and don't destroy your crops. Alright? That's what that's for. I've seen actual cracker. Oh my god. I didn't think they were real. I thought they stopped making them like in 1960. I don't know, like an ancient relic I see in museums and read about in history textbooks. I don't think you guys still existed. Damn. Why would anybody want to make that? I have no idea, but yeah, I worked with her. I couldn't tell, honestly. She's very pretty. She was very well mannered until I got to a point where I was like, just couldn't put up with her bullshit. So I was like, fuck, right off. The fuck is wrong with you? And she was like, you know what? You just hate me. And I was like, this was literally in the middle of work after she was saying all that racial slurs. And I was like, I can't still work with you if you're saying that, you idiot. And then she started like going batshit insane, so that's a cracker. No. And she doesn't, because she thought she was better than me because she was white, and because I guess she thought her family had more money than me. And then she was like, what did she say? She's like, yeah, you know what? Like, I was telling her like it's kind of like discriminatory what she's doing, and it's really racist, and I don't know what to tell her. Right? I didn't say it that way. I was like, yeah, like it was kind of hard for me to live in this town because everyone here is like super racist. It's like they've never even met somebody who wasn't white before. I don't know why. Like, it's just, they don't even live in Europe. And this doesn't even happen in Europe from what they're telling me. There's a lot of immigrants in Europe, and not all of them are white. And that's the kind of stuff is like weird. Like, they wouldn't be able to make money that way. And they're like, are you telling me these are all losers from Europe that came to live in America? And they're like, pretty much. Alright, oh, gee, thanks. Thanks for sending them to America. America. But I don't know, that's what they were doing. They were like, I kind of like these guys, but like, I don't know, like if they go away, I won't bother other people in Asia. You won't ever have to hear about it. Oh. Just too late. Well, there's already other people like that in the the Americas. That weren't white. But anyway, they just didn't get it, honestly. They couldn't comprehend anything. They didn't get why that's not okay, and people don't want to keep telling them why it's not okay, and they got tired of it. So they're like, can you just go? Just leave. No one here thinks like this on the planet. It's not for you. You're the only person, and other people who are just as stupid as you. Like I said, it's the only one. Anyway. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, it's kind of hard for me to like kind of friends here because she was like implying that I'm just like a weird loser and I should just like want to be a white girl. I should be a wannabe white girl, and that's how I'm gonna get friends. And I'm like, keep in mind, she was like 5 years younger than me, and I was like, okay, it's hard because some people in this town, including teachers, are super racist. They didn't expect immigrants to be living in that area or something. I don't know why they thought that way, but they were super racist. And she's like, I know what that's like. Um, I know everyone here is like Italian, and they make fun of me for being French. And I'm like, and I was like, I don't know what to tell her. Like, I'm not gonna break the news to her because it's not my responsibility. I feel like her mother should have said something to her ages ago, which is why she's a cracker. But yeah, well, that's a cracker right there. Bird food. It's for the birds. Birds are actually referring to people who they're whores. Okay, that's what it means. When people are called birds, it means they're a whore. Like, who's a chick? It's like, well, she's not really a whore yet, is she? But that's why they call a lot of women birds in England, because they're being very, very sexist. And they call them ladybirds, ladybugs, ladybirds. Because they're saying like lady whores are really creepy, and it's okay to be a man whore, otherwise known as a Casanova or a gigolo. That's okay. That's more savory. It's a lot easier to go digest than being a lady whore.
How are you this morning?
I don't know this guy.
Okay?
I don't know you.
I don't know you. I said if you're okay.
I said I don't know you.
I'm Tony.
Oh, thanks for telling me. I'm Chantel.
Chantel?
Yeah.
Okay. Hope you enjoy. Have a good day.
You too. Do you have a cigarette by any chance? Thank you.
Chantel.
Yes.
See you later.
See you later, Tony. No, I don't know. Like, nobody else in the entire thing was like that. There was one other girl who was trying to defend her after she tried to say something, and she was trying to make it up to her because she thought she was stupid. And that's when she realized why I didn't like her. Okay, she's not as stupid as she is. Also, initially she thought I didn't like her because she was younger and she was kind of stupid, and like, I just didn't like white people. Even though I wasn't being racist or anything. And she thought I was crazy because I had to see a psychiatrist at the time because they were saying that kind of stuff to me all the fucking time, and they thought I was somebody else, and got incredibly violent and aggressive. And I was like, that's not even true. Like, what the police are doing? I don't know where they're getting these ideas from, but they're just, I don't know. And then she figured out, like, oh, that's why you don't like her, because she's like that. And I'm like, yeah. I didn't know how to tell her this. I'm like, because like, I'm like, yeah, she keeps on making things up. She thinks no one else knows what she's saying, and nobody else saw it. And in the case that they weren't actually there, she's gonna yell at you or try to argue with you that you weren't even there. How do you know what happened? Blah blah. Even though it's obvious that it's made up. And basically, she thinks everyone's stupid. And if you call her out on it, she's just gonna start screaming at you because she feels personally offended. And no, she's not gay, but it's fucking weird. That's why I don't like her. How are you supposed to be friends with her? And they're like, and then she's like, oh, I thought you were just like, that was just weird. You were being weird. You were being mean to her or something. I'm like, no, she was the one being weird to me. And I didn't know what to tell her. Especially since she's like, it's obvious that she's just starting out her social life and she doesn't really know what's going on. And I'm like, I don't overstep my boundaries here. I don't overstep and like tell her or teach her how to socialize and then have her mom come and yell at me and say like, what did you say? Why? How did you know this? It's like she was intentionally hiding all this stuff from her. And I'm like, I don't know why she would do that. Like, your kid's really dumb now, but like, whatever. What else? Y'all know gonna stop from her mom coming after me and saying, why would you say this to her? You don't know what she's like. And I was like, I don't. No. Anyway, I don't want to get in between somebody else's parenting skills, okay? That's what you want to parent your kid. You know your kid infinitely more better than I do. Then I'm supposed to say, it's your kid, right? I'm like, I feel like that would be really inappropriate. You know, maybe she was like using that as an excuse to like pick fights with people, or she's like just bored or something, or like she needs something to like talk about in her social circle, or like her book club or something. I don't know. I don't know. I know people take advantage of their kids that way all the time. And they shouldn't be doing that, but like a lot of parents do. And that's kind of the only reason they even like agree to have sex with a guy and have his kid is to kind of like get involved in the community that way. I don't know. But yeah, I was like, no, it's cause she's like that. And yeah, I don't like white people because you all think that way. And then I have to go through all this and you have to see it for yourself and figure it out, and I gotta wait like how many years has it been? And then you're like, oh, I finally saw what you're talking about, but it's like, but I'm like, yeah, I had to wait that long for you to be able to figure out what I was trying to say to you. And I'm like, yeah, anyway. What else? Do I hate people who are not the same race as me? I think that's incredibly stupid. I'm like, yeah, what am I gonna do? Start inbreeding and promote like incest to my kids? No thanks. But am I also suspicious of people who are not the same as me? Also no. Then I'd actually end up developing a personality disorder, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm at risk for that. Do I care if people insult me on the street? I don't think I really care that much. I mean, it bothers me, and there is an effect to me, and sometimes it gets really annoying, and I get really irritated. But other than that, like, I don't care. Yeah, it's like having a mosquito bite, like, all over my face, my arms. It's just annoying, itchy welts, and you gotta wait until, like, it goes away, and you don't want to leave a mark or anything. You know, kind of like you can't touch it or anything. It's kind of like, yeah, it's like a shoe fly, don't bother me, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just weird because they're like, the fly, the top part is their fly, and the bottom part is their body, and then they like puke out their own shit, and they get attracted to that, and then they start like masturbating to what the shit that they were talking about, and it's just kind of embarrassing to witness. Cause I was like, I didn't know how to respond. I was like, okay, I guess that's what you're doing now. Well, to each his own. Everybody has a right to do things that they find enjoyable. Okay. So, yeah. I'm really exhausted, I can tell, because like I'm about to pass out and I can see like my vision getting blurry, and I'm like, am I gonna like be alive after this? Am I gonna live? Well, I'm staying indoors for a little bit just because it's so hot outside. Still waiting for the email for Preston.